The ongoing CBS News investigation of the Wounded Warrior Project prompted a question in Thursday night's Republican debate.
Just today, a Wounded Warrior organization designed to help wounded veterans and their families is coming under fire for raising tens of millions of dollars, but spending almost half of that on travel and hotels and dinners and luxury, lavish conferences. So taking care of veterans is obviously a huge issue in the country that has asked so many to serve and sacrifice so much. If you were president, would you police these charity organizations that say they're helping vets?
Of course, and there's all sorts of ways that can be done at the state, local, and federal level to do that. But the first duty of the next president of the United States is to fix the mess in the Department of Veterans Affairs.
In another response to our investigation, Charity Navigator, a national evaluator of charities, put the Wounded Warrior Project on its watch list. Chip Reid has the latest findings.
The nation's most prominent veterans charity is facing criticism from more than 40 former employees about how it spends the more than $800 million it's raised in the past 6 years. We asked Mark Owens, a former director of tax-exempt organizations at the IRS, to review the Wounded Warrior Project's tax documents.
What was your biggest concern in reading these forms?
That I couldn't tell the number of people that were assisted. I thought that was truly unusual. If the organization is asking for money and spending money, purportedly spending money to assist veterans, I'd like to know.
Wounded Warrior Project says 80% of their money is spent on programs for veterans. That's because they include some promotional items, direct response advertising, and shipping and postage costs. Take that out, and the figures look more like what charity watchdogs say, that only 54 to 60% of donations go to help wounded service members.
The CEO has said that fundraising should and can be included in the programs and services. Your response?
Well, I'd be curious to know how asking people for money equates to the assistance of wounded veterans.
Stephen Nardizzi has been CEO since 2009. In 2014, he was paid nearly $500,000. That's in line with similar-sized charities. But many former employees told us they thought it was too much. Nardizzi defended his salary to our Norfolk affiliate last April.
My salary is less than 0.1% of the donations that come in. And I am running an organization that is helping hundreds of thousands of warriors.
Last year, WWP gave a $150,000 grant to a group that defends higher spending on overhead, executive salaries, and fundraising by charities. Nardizzi says the more money the charity raises, the more money it can spend on veterans.
If your only fixation is spending the most on programs, that's feeling good, but not necessarily doing good. You could run a lot of program activities, you could spend a lot of money and have them be wholly ineffective.
But charity watchdog Daniel Borokoff says his biggest concern is that the group is sitting on a $248 million surplus, and not enough of it is being spent on veterans.
It would be helpful if these hundreds of millions of dollars were being spent to help veterans, in the shorter term, in the year or two, rather than being held for longer term.
For CBS This Morning Saturday, I'm Chip Reid in Washington.
The Wounded Warrior Project has strongly rejected several of the claims in our report. Its CEO has not responded to multiple requests for an interview.